What's up, y'all? It's Davis with Tennessee Cash for Homes. A common question that we always get when we look to purchase a home with foundation problems. Well, guess what? We live in the state of Tennessee. There's a lot of homes with foundation problems. So, as a homeowner, I want to explain to you a little bit about what you might need to know if you're facing some foundational or structural problems with your home. Let's first talk about exactly what it looks like from the appearance in your home when there is a foundational problem or something structurally is off. So a couple things to first look for as a symptom is kind of what I like to call it, is look for some cracks on the walls. Sometimes between, your door frames and up to the ceiling, you'll have some cracking there. That's just from some settlement. If you have a brick house, or you have a block foundation, sometimes those blocks will start to form cracks in them. That's kind of the first step in what will cause some major issues over time if you don't tackle them. So I kind of want to dive into what exactly we've run into as home flippers and people that buy homes for cash, because we don't have inspection periods when we buy these homes, right? So that's something that we're kind of going in, sight unseen sometimes. Sometimes we walk a house one time and then we buy it a week later. It doesn't give us enough time to fully get an inspector in, or a foundational expert, or a structural engineer, or whatever that, give us some knowledge about what's going on with that particular property. So I kind of want to dive into a real life example to a home we're actually currently working on right now in Kingston Springs, Tennessee. It's a 65-year-old home. It's a brick ranch style house, very similar to what's across lots of the parts of Tennessee. It's very common here. So one thing that we noticed when we first walked the home was the floors were a little wonky, a little uneven. And we were like, okay, no big deal. We kind of scanned underneath the home and we're like, okay, we don't see any water. It's probably something simple. We can go in with like some self-leveler or something like that and make the house fine and sell it. Well, we got to the end of the project and we tried to go sell it. And every feedback from every agent was just talking about how bad this house was foundationally. And it was scary because we've got a lot of money tied up in this deal. But let me tell you and explain what we did to combat that and show you the options that you might have as a homeowner to help beat that battle. So we first did, we hired a contractor to come out and give us a synopsis, kind of just a broad scope of what's wrong. But what we found out was the piers, the structural systems that hold the house up, were damaged severely, which were causing moisture and rot out with our joists, which was causing the floor to become slopey and moving all throughout the house. It was cracking everywhere. It was a disaster. It ended up being a cost of around $12,000 what we spent underneath that house to get the place sellable. Luckily, we're actually scheduled to close here in a couple of days on January the 8th and 26th. It'll actually be our first closing of January, which we're really excited about because we have a great homeowner coming in and we know that they don't have to worry about a house with foundational issues. So wanted to show you guys what to do if you do have foundational problems. The first thing is, don't freak out, okay? Lots of people deal with this. Homes settle over time. Moisture is a big cause of it. Find your gutter systems. If your gutters are shoveling water underneath the house, well, let's get the gutters fixed. Let's tackle each problem that might come up. If it's just a rotted out joist, well, guess what? You don't have to go replace that old joist. Go take a brand new one from Home Depot and get a contractor to go in there and cistern it to the existing bad floor joists, okay? Get your home level. Show that you have taken care of those problems, and this won't be an issue moving forward. So if you find yourself in a home that starts showing some foundational problems or has those symptoms of cracking here, cracking there, or the floors are starting to get wonky, or your door won't close because it's settled a certain way, don't freak out. Identify the problem first, then sit down, go over your options. There's a lot of different foundational companies that do repair work, and they're going to tell you and read you the sad sob story about how bad it is underneath. You don't have to listen to everybody like that. A lot of the times, people will call Tennessee Cash for Homes when they go get a quote from someone like this and say, hey guys, can you help me out? I know you've dealt with this in the past. What would you do? And at the end of the day, we just want to be able to provide excellent advice, ultimately hoping that we can buy your house. But if we can't come to terms on it, no big deal. But foundation problems should never scare you away from selling your house for cash.